All right, so I have been at Real Brokerage now for 8 months, and I'm gonna give you my honest review of what I think about the company. I'm gonna give you some pros, some cons, and I'm gonna give you an honest breakdown of what my first 8 months at Real Brokerage has looked like, and I'll give you a breakdown of what my revenue share has been and a little bit of insight into what it's like to be here. Here we go. So I joined Real Brokerage in January of 2023. And I'll be honest, the main reason for me to come to Real Brokerage was revenue share. It was a big part of my decision. There's a lot of things that I really liked about Real Brokerage, but revenue share and the option to make additional income outside of just helping people buy and sell real estate was very attractive to me. And I had kind of waved off the revenue share model of brokerages for years and years, and something at some point just kind of clicked in my head, and I'm glad that it did. I'm gonna give you a breakdown right now of what my first 8 months has looked like as far as revenue share. So since I joined in January, up until now, we're in August, about midway through August, I have earned $6,800 in revenue share. I think it's important to keep in mind that I didn't get my first revenue share until March. So for the first 2 months, I did not earn any rev share. So I think it's fair to say from the time I really started earning revenue share until now, I've been averaging right around $6,000 a month. And I'll break this down for you even further. When I came to Real Brokerage, I only brought over 2 people initially. So I didn't have this big team. I didn't have a bunch of people kind of ready to go to come with me to Real Brokerage. I started with just myself, one of my buyer's agents, and then another agent that came on board with me that, to be honest, is not really a producer as of right now. So I really started just basically with myself and one agent. As of today, sitting here in August, I have 16 agents right now within my network. So from January until now, 8 months, I've had about 16 agents that have come on board with me here at Real Brokerage. So I want to start by saying there's a few different ways to earn stock. So obviously anyone can purchase stock in Real Brokerage. Even if you're not an agent, it's a publicly traded company, anyone can purchase stock. Secondarily to that, you have the option when you come to Real Brokerage to allocate a portion of your split, which at Real Brokerage it's an 85-15 split. And I have a whole video that I'll put a link to that explains everything about the breakdown of the fees and all that. But you have an option to do an additional 5% out of your closings to purchase stock in the company. That is one way that you can get stock. Second to that, you have a couple different ways to earn stock. So you have agent attraction. So when you bring on an agent and they close a deal at Real Brokerage, you're going to earn stock for that. When you cap, again, I have a whole video explaining what the cap is and all that, but at Real Brokerage, there's a $12,000 cap. So, you know, if you're at a brokerage right now where maybe you have a high split, a 90-10 split or something like that, and you think, well, why would I want to go to an 80-15? If you don't have a cap, you could potentially be paying 50, 60, 70 grand to your brokerage. Even though your split might look better, the amount of money that you're paying in the year might be higher. You know, it might be 20,000, might be 30,000, might be more. But at Real Brokerage, it's only 12,000. So once you cap, that gives you an opportunity to earn additional rev share. So once you cap, you're going to earn some stock at that point. And then as you go on through your year, you've got additional ways that you can earn stock once you hit elite status and so on and so forth. So there's a couple different ways to earn stock, but here is where I sit as of today with the stock portfolio. The stock portfolio that I currently have, all the stocks and shares combined, are worth about $23,000 currently. So the one thing to keep in mind with stock is you're purchasing at, or you're getting shares at whatever the going rate is for that stock at that time. So if you bring on an agent through agent attraction and they close a deal and you earn stock from that, you're going to get it at whatever price it was going for at that time. So currently I've got around $23,000 in stock. So between revenue share and stock, I'm sitting right around $30,000 from January until now. So I don't know where you can go, what other brokerage you can go to where there is that type of potential for you to earn additional income. Now again, keep in mind some of the stock was purchased through commission, but a lot of it was agent attraction, capping, and also once I'm gonna hit elite status, I'm gonna get more stock. The other cool thing is once you do cap, Real Brokerage allows you to now allocate more of your split. Since once you cap, it's 100%. You can now choose to instead of get 5% of your commission going to stock, you can up that. So if you're a type of person that isn't great at saving money, or maybe you're not great at investing, this is perfect for you because it's going to be taken out of your closing and invested for you. Now I think as of today, Real Brokerage stock is trading for around $1.70 per share. But if you think about the potential of where it could be with some of these other publicly traded brokerages trading for $15, $20, $30 per share, the potential for this to maybe go from $1.70 up, I mean, that potential is always there. So it's another way that you can invest in yourself through doing something that you're already doing, which is helping people buy and sell real estate, as well as attracting agents into the brokerage. All right, I'm gonna start with the pros. First and foremost, kind of what I already discussed, extra income, the ability to earn extra income. There's a few brokerages where you really have the option to earn extra money outside of helping people buy and sell real estate. And even out of those few brokerages, there's really kind of Real Brokerage and the other big one that really kind of stand out above the rest as really giving you the ability to not only have a little bit of ownership through stock, but also the ability to earn revenue share. So I absolutely love that about Real Brokerage. Second pro is the networking. So I was at a flat fee, kind of small local brokerage, and the networking was cool. There was about 140 agents, fluctuated between 140, 160 agents, and there was some good networking there locally. But I mean, let's face it, you're not going to get a referral or something like that usually from an agent within your own brokerage. At Real Brokerage, they have a workplace set up through, I believe, Meta, Facebook, and there is a whole referral network in there. There's a whole training center in there. And the agents that I've met across the nation that are at Real Brokerage and the ideas that we've been able to share and just the networking has really been a breath of fresh air to be part of this kind of big nationwide company and learn from other agents, and not only learn, but be able to give back and just network. The networking has been top tier as of 8 months in. I do love that aspect about being here at Real Brokerage. I talked about the workplace app and all the networking and stuff that goes on through there, but they also have their own app for the brokerage that allows you to do things like track your closings. It allows you to track where your revenue share is, what your network looks like. It allows you to upload documents through there. There's all kinds of different things that you can do through the app. The technology so far has just really been top notch. And another pro, I want to kind of piggyback off of the app, and this is something that just was released, is the AI assistant called Leo that Real Brokerage just launched. And this has really been a game changer for me when it comes to the agent attraction side of things. The way Leo works, it's almost kind of like a chat GPT in the sense that you ask it a question and it's going to give you the answer. Now, it's more laser focused on your brokerage Real Brokerage and your production, so you can ask it things like where you're at in the year as far as your GCI. The Leo AI assistant has been great for agent attraction because you can ask it a bunch of questions that most people are going to have about agent attraction or about joining the brokerage, and Leo is going to be able to more than likely answer it. For example, I asked Leo, do you get any bonus or incentives when you cap at Real Brokerage? So it's a question that a lot of people have when wanting to make a change to this brokerage, and it answered that for me. Basically it says, yes, you can cap at Real Brokerage, or when you cap at Real Brokerage, you're eligible for bonus incentives. It goes on to explain that you'll get 150 shares and capping agents will, 150 shares of stock, and capping agents are eligible at 6,000 will receive 75 shares. So basically it's explaining the difference between if you're on a team or if you're an individual and the different shares you'll get. So questions like that, it answers it pretty much immediately. And I've used this when talking to agents that are thinking about coming on board here at Real Brokerage for questions that I maybe didn't know immediately off the top of my head. Plugged it into Leo and I got the answer instantaneously. So this has been a game changer. They just dropped this. I absolutely love it. It's another pro of being here at Real Brokerage. All right, so those are the pros. I'm gonna go over some of the cons right now. To be honest, I don't have a lot of complaints being here at Real Brokerage. It was a little bit of something I had to get used to, going from a smaller brick and mortar brokerage to a cloud-based brokerage. So I guess I'll start there. The first con, I guess, for some people, it wasn't necessarily for me, but for some people, if you absolutely are the type of person you have to go into the office every single day, you don't have an office to work from home, or you don't have your own, office on the side, it might be a little bit tough for you. I'm just being honest. If you need an office and there isn't a Real Brokerage or big teams, you might go and use your office, or you might rent an office at your local brokerage. But if you have a big team and you're making a lot of commissions, you probably could come to Real Brokerage, bring your own team, and open up your own Real Brokerage kind of satellite office with little to no issue, as long as you were within compliance for your local state. So that's one of the cons. If you're just kind of an individual agent, you absolutely need an office. It might be a little bit tougher for you. Another con, again, this was something where it was just me needing to get used to being at Real Brokerage and a cloud-based brokerage. But initially, the first few closings were a little bumpy, not really knowing where my check was coming from and what that would look like. Now that I've been here for 8 months, that's all been ironed out. The first few closings, I was able to figure out how that would work. But if I'm really looking for cons and I want to be open and honest, that was a little bit of a con at first, but it's been ironed out, at least for me. And it only took the first few closings to figure out how that all worked. When I was trying to think about cons for this video, it was kind of tough. I'm giving you 2 so far. I guess if I had to pick one more con, because honestly, I've had a great experience here at Real. I love it here. The agents that I've brought over all seem to really love working here and got a lot of value. But if I had to dig deep for maybe one more con, I think although Real Brokerage doesn't really carry the same stigma as maybe an EXP, where people just look at it and think, oh, it's only about recruiting agents and they're not focused on production, yada yada yada. You do maybe get a little bit of that pushback, I think, from agents that haven't quite opened up to the revenue share model yet. So if I was to really try to dig deep and find one more con, I think maybe you might have some agents that have preconceived notions about revenue share brokerages, and they might start to look at you in a different way, possibly, and that's me really trying to dig deep and find something else that's negative about it. But I haven't really found that to be the case for me. Every once in a while when I've had people ask me about it and, I start telling them about it, now they think all of a sudden you're trying to recruit them, when really you're just trying to answer the questions that they have. So if I had to dig deep and find another negative, possibly, I guess that would be it. But Real Brokerage, I think, has really strived to make sure that the company presents itself as production first, agent attraction second. And I found that from all of the agents that I've met and have worked with so far here at Real, a lot of them really are producers, some at a higher level than others, but the focus on production really is the number one goal for most of the agents that I've met here so far. And agent attraction is something that kind of just comes along naturally with that. I know at my last brokerage, I was always a high producer, and that naturally attracted other local agents to say, hey, obviously you like your brokerage, you're doing well, let me come on board and kind of see what that's all about. And I was able to attract a lot of agents to my previous broker. And let's face it, if you're a producer and you're bringing other agents to your brokerage, more often than not, you're not going to be rewarded for that. So when you are at Real Brokerage and you do attract agents, especially if you're a producer, you're definitely going to be rewarded for that. All right, so that was my 8-month update of what it's been like for me working here at Real Brokerage, all the pros, all the cons. If you have any questions about anything I discussed in this video, or any questions about Real Brokerage in general, or you want to know more about our Real Modern Agents Network with myself and my buddy Brian Casella that we've put together, along with a bunch of other great agents that are leaders within that community, feel free to reach out to me. Very easy to get a hold of. Instagram, email, TikTok, Facebook, you can find me, and we'll see you on the next video.